Good morning, Rockets. We're excited to welcome you to the March edition of the Rocket Launch.
Today we'll hear from Rocket reporters about President Trump's new policies, as well as the SWIG takeover in Louisville.
We'll also be highlighting the rise of women's basketball and Assumption's record-breaking season, plus diving into the significance of Women's History Month. I'm Phoebe Schuler.
And I'm Whitney Gillespie. This is WAHS, the Rocket Launch. Since taking office on January 20th, President Donald Trump has introduced and implemented a series of new policies that have had a significant impact on both the nation and the world. Let's hear from Sabrina Paul, Phoebe Schuler, and Emma Higgs as they break down the key policies the president has put into place so far.
Hey Rockets, welcome to the Crash Course Special Edition. We're diving deep into the events surrounding the inauguration of President Donald Trump on January 20th and the serious, bold decisions that followed.
In just 1 month, we've witnessed major policy shifts, international reactions, and heated debates. Let's break it all down.
On January 20th, President Trump introduced the Unleashing American Energy Plan to strengthen the U.S. energy industry. The plan focuses on using affordable and reliable energy resources to improve the economy and national security. It has been positively received by both parties because it aims to lower energy costs and create jobs in many states.
On January 21st, President Trump moved to dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs across federal agencies. This rollback means fewer initiatives aimed at addressing racial and gender disparities in education, workplaces, and government institutions.
On January 28th, the Trump administration revoked deportation protections for Venezuelan refugees, reversing previous policies put in place by the Biden administration that allowed them to stay in the U.S. This initiative has received mixed reactions from members of Congress and the American public. On the same day, Trump introduced measures aimed at enticing millions of federal employees to resign, citing budget cuts and government downsizing. Such a policy has the potential to affect the federal services moving forward.
On January 29th, President Trump announced that the U.S. would begin holding migrants at Guantanamo Bay, an unprecedented step that raised alarm over human rights violations, as critics warned that the detention center would be used for migrants fleeing from dangerous conditions rather than its historic use for terror suspects. As of early March, there are currently around 200 people classified as illegal aliens detained at the base camps as a result of this initiative.
That was really enlightening. Now, have you heard of SWIG?
No, I haven't. What's that?
Let's find out. Mary Zabrocki and Nora Daglow spoke with the manager of SWIG, a new soda shop in Louisville, to learn more about this latest craze.
Hey Rockets, I'm Mary Zabrocki. And I'm Nora Daglow, and today we're going to be trying out SWIG.
SWIG is a drive-through soda fountain chain primarily located in the western United States. The chain, known for its popular soda add-ons, was founded in April 2010 by Nicole Tanner in St. George, Utah. Since then, SWIG has experienced steady growth and, as of January 2025, operates locations in 14 states, one of which is our very own Kentucky.
So SWIG started back in 2010 when our founder, Nicole Tanner, was making sodas out of her kitchen. She was obsessed with Diet Coke with like coconut and lime in it. She'd make them for all of her friends, and then she ended up buying like a little shack in a parking lot somewhere, selling those drinks out of it, and then it just kind of like grew from there and got bigger and bigger. We just signed the lease on our next location, but there are about 5 locations that will be opening up in Louisville over the next few years. Just kind of depends on like how quickly we can get those buildings. So us here at Louisville, we are are not like super in charge of the drink menu, but a lot of drinks have kind of become signature for like our store among employees. So like a lot of us are obsessed with like Coke and English toffee, which isn't something that's on the menu, but we just make it often. Or we'll kind of just like make our own drinks every day and figure out what works. Definitely the most popular soda that we have here is the Texas Stab. It's Dr. Pepper with vanilla and coconut cream. I swear it gets ordered like every 5 minutes.
And now, on to the best part.
Taste test! I got Spring Fling and I got Happy Camper. And let's try them out. Ooh, that's really good. That is really good. I give mine a 9 out of 10. I give mine an 8.5 out of 10. I recommend Swig. Back to you, Anchors.
I definitely need to check that out now.
You should. And you know what else you should check out? Assumption's basketball record-breaking season.
Not only that, but women's basketball as a whole has been on the rise. Let's hear from Rocket reporters Jocelyn Gass, Elizabeth Kolb, and Jenna Pusick as they share more about this exciting trend.
Boom! Hey Rockets, did you hear about the uprising in women's basketball
And our record-breaking season?
Follow us as we interview junior Ava Moore,
And senior Tia Ice
as well as their coach,
to hear more about our Rocket Ballers.
Yeah, how do I feel about my record-breaking season? Awesome, excited. I will say that my expectation from day one, last year and this year, is to win and execute a championship type of culture. We're 20-5. We're headed into districts, and I think it's also really important for a team headed into postseason to peak at the right time. We had 3 key wins this past week against top-ranked teams in the state, and so I feel like we're peaking at the right time. But I'm super excited and so proud of the girls.
I think the biggest strength of this new team is definitely like just the way we've all come together as a family. I think that really helped us like win and all that stuff. But not only that, just like the love that we all show each other and shown to everyone on the team, I think really helps us and impacts us in a good way. I think women's basketball has grown in popularity in so many ways. I think that a lot of the technology and social media, I think that's definitely played a big role into it. But not only that, I feel like women like these days in women's basketball and in all women's sports just work so hard. And I think now that they're finally getting the recognition that we need and we deserve, and I just think that's truly amazing.
The changes from this season is that the team has gotten more like fast-paced momentum. We have way more energy, I feel, compared to last season, and we have more urgency to get towards our end of the season goal. I think women's basketball has grown in popularity because I think the media side of it has done way better at publishing things about women in sports, and athletes like Caitlin Clark obviously bring more attention to the game.
wow, we're so proud to see how far women's basketball and our own team has come.
To learn more about successful female athletes, check out our website, ahsrocketlaunch.org.
I'm Jenna Pusick.
And I'm Jocelyn Gass.
Back to you, Anchors.
Speaking of women making history, March is Women's History Month. But what do we really need to know about it?
Let's hear from Rocket reporters Kara Hobgood, Ava Rechtenwald, and myself as we highlight the importance of this month.
Good morning, Rockets. March is Women's History Month. We would like to highlight some inspirational staff members. First, let's talk with Ms. Conway.
At Assumption, we really believe in self-advocacy. We want our girls to learn that their voice matters. We don't want them to shrink from any challenge. We want them to be loud and proud with whatever they stand behind. We all come to Assumption with our different values, our different beliefs. And you know what? We're all coming from different backgrounds, but we all matter. Everything we do individually matters. So I would like to think that I help promote girls to find their voice. I think our staff and faculty here are really good to recognize that and help girls use their voice in our community, use their voice in our school, and just teach girls that, you know what they want, what they believe, it matters. Outside of Assumption, I volunteer at the Backside Learning Center. I have served on their board, and I have served as their ESL teacher. I love that volunteer work because I get to work with community members. I'm doing homework with them. I'm having arts and craft activities with them. I'm just getting to know our neighbors in the Backside community and helping support them, kind of like I do here with academic support too.
Thank you, Ms. Conway. Now let's hear from Ms. Clezet.
When I was hired on, I did not recognize that potentially I could have been the first African American teacher here at Assumption, and it wasn't until a senior, my first year here, she had did a little bit of digging and found out that potentially I was. It is so important to have representation for all of your students, not just some of your students, and I think that we're making steps in that right direction, but I think it's going to take some time. It's not something that we can snap our fingers and it just happen, but it's something that we have to continue to strive for, and we have to continue to push the envelope and to go out there and put our name out there seeking people of color to come into our building.
Thank you for sharing your stories with us. Happy Women's History Month!
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Rocket Launch.
To learn more about these stories and more, visit our website at ahsrocketlaunch.org.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Rockets Journalism for all the latest updates. I'm Phoebe Schuler.
And I'm Whitney Gillespie. This is WAHS The Rocket Launch. Make it a great day, Rockets.